It's 1 o'clock. It's Wednesday. That means it's time for what, Weatherman?
Real Estate 101, baby.
Weatherman, who would you like to give a plug? Shout out.
I can plug out to our buddy Scott Abernathy, PMI. So
had lunch with a gentleman today.
Smart, sharp guy. He's very, very good at property management. So if you don't want to deal with your rentals, or if you got a properties that you don't want to deal with, or hey, if you got properties that you're interested in selling that are rentals, give him a call. He's also in that market as well. But Scott Abernathy,
well, call me before you call him.
He knows that game very, very well. So if you look for somebody to take care of you, he takes care of Tommy, he takes care of a whole lot of people. Give Scott Abernathy a call. He's a very, very sharp guy.
Best in the business when it comes to giving you a good value of what you should pay for a house.
He'll tell you at certain times of year the prices change, they vary, and he knows that consistently.
He does. Whenever you're trying to rent something in one part of the year, it may not do as good as it would in another part of the year. Weatherman, once again, you amaze me with how smart you are. So everybody, if you're watching this, if you share the stream, you go in line to get, hey, what's in here? What's in it? Ooh, $25 gift card. 25
to
our favorite restaurant, the Alley on Main. So we can put this in our edited version. So let's get rolling, kids. What we're going to talk about today is how can a home seller actually make the wrong offer to the marketplace.
So when you say offer, you're talking about they list their house.
That's right. That's exactly. So buyers make offers to purchase.
Yeah.
Sellers make offers to the public for somebody to come in there and buy the house.
Yes.
So number one, a mistake that they could do, or how it could be wrong, is they list their house too high. They're asking too much for it. What happens?
And what do they say? Well, you can always come down, but you can't go up. That's the old saying.
They do say that, but what they need to really understand is there needs to be buyer urgency to your property. And if people don't want to come see your house, if they're not in a hurry to come there, you're going to have this low demand.
The one thing you got to realize is...
Well, somebody bring Weatherman a slice of pizza.
The market, hey Kelly, after the market today, we have such smart buyers now because people are smarter with their money, they're smarter with their financing, and they're smarter with watching the numbers. So they know square foot price, they know all these types of things. So they have already probably done a lot of research on the front end before they even buy.
That's what I was about to say, Weatherman. They've got access to information today to make better decisions.
You know what else they can find out?
What?
What they paid for it 2 years ago, what they paid for it a year ago, how much money they're gonna make off of it. So see, all those are public record, and so all those things go into that accountability when somebody is, or that account, when somebody is looking to buy your house. They know how much you owe on it, how much you paid for it, how long you've had it, and they're thinking, well, darn, they're gonna make this much off of it. Let's go and hit them a little low.
Number two, what happens when sellers make a low offer on their own property? If they got it listed below market value, is that a good or bad thing?
Good thing.
Tell me why, Weatherman.
Because what that does is floods people to it's just like this. If you got a 2018 Corvette with 12,000 miles on it, and you put it out there that you only want $12,000 for it, you're gonna have 100 people calling you, offering you a crazy amount of money for it because the deal's so low. So what it does, it attracts people to you, and the next thing you know, they want it so bad, they'll say, well, I'll give you this for it. And then you end up getting what you want. Or you get a fight going on, or a competitive battle going on.
What we have found is you're probably actually gonna make more money on something when you price it low right now. Mm-hmm. And here's where I think a lot of home sellers may not understand the logic. The first person that comes and makes an offer on your house may not ever be the one that gets your house. You could be first and it not matter, because we're gonna look at offers for 2 or 3 days a lot of times if we know the strategy that we're doing. If we know we're under the market price, we're the first day that it's on the market, we may have 15 showings set up over the next 2 or 3 days. We're gonna allow that process to work itself out, and once we get an offer, we're gonna gladly tell all the other agents, because we wanna help them, dude, we got an offer. If you want this house, please come with your highest and your best. And guess what it does? The next thing you know, it gives people more certainty about what they're buying. If there's 10 offers on this, I now know, man, I'm gonna have to make a ridiculous offer.
Now what happens if you make a low offer, it's on the market for about 4 days, and you get one offer at the full price you got? what usually does that mean?
Probably price right.
Exactly right. So that's another thing you gotta look at. So more than likely, if that happens and your house was probably, you were gonna price it too high. The market will tell you what your house is worth.
And we can tell pretty quickly, and we're gonna get into that very quickly, weatherman. So don't let all the goodies out just yet. Number 3, the house, you allow it to get listing fatigue. It's been sitting on the market.
Tired of looking at that house. That house still out there?
Still out there. It's still out there.
Wonder what's wrong with
it? Gets we start thinking things, and then you know, whenever I look on Zillow every single morning, do you know what I'm looking for, Buncrofton?
Florida house.
Florida house every morning, and it's got to where I see the same houses over and over again, and guess what? I pay them no attention.
Or you think I can get that house lower because nobody's wanting to buy it.
That's the only way I'd feel confident about buying this.
Yeah.
If it's listed, let's say down there at $650,000, well, the only way I'm going to feel safe that I'm making a good investment if I can get it for what?
About $450.
I mean, it's got to be ridiculous, or I'm not going to feel good about it.
They're ridiculous on their price.
That's
Why not be ridiculous on ours?
The longer you sit, the more you ask for your property, the lower offers or no offers you'll get. It's crazy. So number 4, weatherman, when do you improve the price? That is also known in the world as a price reduction.
7 to 10 days.
Okay, is that common in every single price point?
No. Actually, you know, if you're in a price point, so in Rutherford County, if you're anywhere under $200,000, it doesn't even matter to you. So, I mean, because those houses are such high demand, because if somebody can't buy it for the personal, investors buy it. So, if you're under $200,000 in Rutherford County, you're out of the norm.
Let me ask you this, weatherman. After 7 days, you're under $200,000 and you have no offers. What would you recommend somebody do?
Obviously, the house has got some major issues, or it's in an area that's not pulling that type of money. We're going to have to go ahead and reduce it.
And you got to tell them on the front end.
Yes.
If you don't tell them this on the front end, it's day 7. Hey, we're too high. We need to reduce this. They may not believe that, so they need to understand that really a home under $200,000 should really sell within hours.
Yeah. And we shouldn't be the one telling the customer, the client, the price. They're really supposed to tell us the price. We just give them our opinion.
You're trying to help me, aren't you, weatherman? Number 5. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody in the audience have one question?
Yes. So in my opinion, this may not be on your list. Does it hurt a showing if you have these ridiculous time frames that you have to look at the house? So a lot of times it'll be like, I can't show the house on Mondays or Wednesdays from this time to this time. What would you say if you got somebody that says, hey, well, I do this, so these days I can only show the house from like 4 in the afternoon to 6 at night, or...
What you're doing is you're disrupting the momentum. When people want to see your house, if you won't let them get in there and you stall them or you put them off, they'll find something else. There's a good chance. So I think if you're going to sell your home, you got to be extremely accommodating. You've got to try to sell your house.
Got to be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. But the end game is to get you what you want.
Weatherman, you are on top of your game today.
In Rutherford County, anything over $750,000, we have a very small number that sells in a year.
Could be a year-long process.
Yeah, so you got to know that you may not get a showing for 2 months, but usually when the people come in and buy, they're serious about buying. So you got to look at how many houses have sold. So whoever your listing agent is, and I'm hoping it's GTT Homes, they'll look and see how many houses are selling in that price point over the year. And so then that kind of will help you determine on how long, in my opinion.
And it also matters what you're trying to accomplish. If you're ready to get out of your house, you probably need to go ahead and reduce it and find that 1 or 2 people that it's going to buy. Maybe there's 20 people in our market that's going to buy. But here's what I believe. If you've got a lot of showings, 8 to 10 showings and no offers, you're probably a little overpriced. If you have no showings, you could be at least 10 to 20% overpriced.
Yeah. So how do you know when it's... So that's a great question. You're on it today. I mean, you're on fire. So what happens if you get several showings and no offers? Let's just use a $300,000 house, for example. It's been on the market a week. You've had 18 showings, no offers. In your opinion, how far off are you in price?
I think you're very close. You're extremely close. And whenever you're in that predicament, what you're probably going to do is attract tougher deal, sale of home contingencies, because they can't find something else. People that maybe have a loan problem, you're gonna attract them. But you're probably a $300,000 house. I would say you need to get it down $10,000.
Yeah. So when somebody tells me, let's reduce it $2,500 or $5,000, tell them why that's not a good idea.
Because to them, it ain't enough of a difference. It ain't enough to make them want it anymore. Number 5, home presentation. This is different than home packaging, which is number 6. Home presentation is the way your home looks once you walk inside, once you can see it. You actually look at it, the carpet's dirty, the walls are dirty, the walls are dark, there's no natural light in here. Maybe the light bulbs are putting out like a dull light color. I didn't know that you can go around and get light bulbs now that make your house
brighter.
Yeah. You need to paint it. You need to clean some stuff up. You need to clean some stuff up on your patio, on your porch, on your sidewalk, wherever it is. But you know, this is something that's very hard for people to do as agents because it can hurt someone's feelings. It smells like a dog. Like if we told Brittany Renee she ain't watching, or she'd have chimed in, if you were to come over there and say you're selling our house and you said, you've got a pet odor, you've got a dog.
Get rid of the dog.
Oh man, she'd be offended.
Yeah.
Our house does not smell like a dog. Then she would get mad, she'd get emotional. And then the more you say it does smell like a dog, whenever people get mad, they double down on their certainty.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't like it. Then you said you came over, Stevie Z, and you didn't smell a dog. Well, he didn't smell a dog. I'm going with him.
Yeah.
So it is very touchy how you talk to people about the presentation of their home. What happens though, weatherman, if it don't look good on the inside?
Well, the thing is, you have to be professional and realize you're not there to hurt their feelings. You're there to get the job done and sell their house. And so it's nothing personal about it. It's the same way that, and most of the time, the same people that you feel like you're hurting their feelings, when they walk in the house, they're gonna spot the same things in the house they're looking at. So it's best just to go ahead and say, listen, I'm not here to offend you, I'm not here to upset you, but what I am here to do is tell you the truth and try to get you the most money for your house and get it sold as quickly as we can. So we do have an issue. It smells like you don't wash your dog, so we need to either get rid of the dog while we sell it, or we get a professional cleaning, but we need to do a few things to make sure. And I can tell you this, if you have a house in pristine shape, it will bring top dollar.
Yeah.
We just had one, and it sold in a neighborhood that is probably was $30,000 or $25,000 more than everything else in that neighborhood sold. But when you walked in, it was a show house, and it was a beautiful, clean house, neat, and it just made you want to buy it.
There's a reason why the big builders have their house furnished.
Yeah.
When you walk in there, it just feels and it's clean and it looks fun.
The yard is also something to make sure it's the same way. Make sure the yard's manicured. And
Number 6, and this is something I'm going to give Weatherman some credit today, okay? He is. Hey, let's get a clap out of it. And he said something. He actually probably said this about a year ago, but I didn't really think about it because once you really get in a seller's market, you ain't got to do a lot to sell stuff.
right.
It's very easy. But what he said was, man, we need to make our pictures look better. And over the last year, I've seen that because if our pictures look really good, it appeases the current seller,
Yeah.
but it also really has an impact on people that see it. So the way your house is packaged, the way it's marketed matters. If your pictures don't look great, I ain't talking about being neat and tidy, Stevie. I know you guys see that grin over there, but I'm talking about how good the photos look, how well it makes the house shine. That makes a huge difference. As a matter of fact, somebody called me. They're thinking about letting me list their house. And I'm like, hey, can I look at your listings? I want to see your website. And the first thing I thought was like, man, Steven is right. How do our pictures look? If they're looking at our pictures and comparing to somebody else's pictures, who are they going to lean towards? Whenever I'm looking at these homes down there in Florida, they could really trick me and just show me some cool stuff and give me a weatherman to go all the way down there, and we're like, damn.
Man.
So whenever we're talking to people, or whenever me and Stevie were talking to Van Grafton, or maybe it's me and you, We ain't gotta show every single square inch of the house.
You don't want to, actually.
We wanna show enough to get somebody excited and motivated enough
You won't see the rest of
to
it.
come see it. Number 7, and this could get controversial, Weatherman. If it gets controversial, Weatherman, just bail me out with something, okay?
Gotcha.
I believe the way you offer your house as a seller, this is one of the most important things, maybe the most important thing, is the agent that you pick.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna say something that without giving away too much information, okay? I talked to this person not too long ago, and I knew this person wanted to sell their house, okay? I didn't do a good job of following up with this particular person, but I noticed that this particular person listed their home in an area that I know better than anybody, I feel like, I'll say, okay? Well, I found out what this particular person sold that home for, and then I thought, man, I could have got you at least 30,000 more. I know for certain I could have gotten you 30,000 more dollars. And I'm going to be honest with you, there's some people that just know neighborhoods a lot better than other people. Like Brent Long, I would say, knows Puckett Station as good as anybody.
Yep.
I live there and I don't know it as well as Brent does. So I'm going to tell you, things sometimes just don't make sense on paper. Like whenever Stephen and Shawan listed this house in Huntington Place, I said, man, there ain't no way. Look at these numbers.
For the record, Shawan did that one. I don't get to take credit.
A couple of years ago, for these two friends of mine, they wanted to list their home for like $25,000 more than the comp said it was worth. Same thing happened earlier this year in this neighborhood. Well, I'm looking at data that's 6 months old, okay? I didn't know these neighborhoods, so I told them, hey, we can try it your way, but look, if it does not work, we need to come down. Well, they were right in law, and I've had this happen to me several times. They knew the neighborhood. They had an awareness or a gut instinct better than me, and they were right on the price. Well, in this particular situation that I was talking about previous, about that I could have gotten them 30,000 more dollars. I know,
Without a doubt.
without a doubt, that person just gave away 30 grand. I know that. And, you know, I think that probably happens a lot, especially if you don't know the neighborhood. I've seen it happen in our neighborhood where things were priced too low. You know, I don't know, but Brent can just pretty much always tell me what it's going to sell for. What do you think, Weatherman?
Well, I think, you know, sometimes a lot of agents will price out a house, and then what they do is they look at some comps and they find the lowest comp because they want it to sell quickly. They say, well, if you put it right here, it ought to move pretty quick. Well, yeah, you're exactly right. But you still could add probably $15,000, $20,000 more to it, and it done the same thing. So you've not really looked at what is going on in the neighborhood. So make sure that whenever you get an estimate or a price on your house, or sometimes it doesn't hurt to have a second opinion.
Everybody, share the love, share the stream, follow us. Follow the Good Time Tommy page if you have not seen it. Me and Weatherman want to be your =1 source for digital real estate.
And always remember, if you bought a house 2 years ago, 4 years ago, you have 20 to 30 to 40% equity more than likely in your property. So a lot of people don't think about that. So think about that and mull it over. If you want us to come by and give you a shout, give us a call.
Call out for business. Everybody have a great day. Share the stream and you could win one of these.